The Cowboys Report has gone past the 124,000 subscriber mark. Thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. The next goal is 125K as we begin our long-term march to double up the Washington Commanders' actual YouTube channel. We're getting closer and closer, but you guys need to subscribe. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So if you want free Cowboys videos every single day, you've come to the right spot. Subscribe to the Cowboys Report right now. Tom Downey here, as always, for the Cowboys Report by Chat Sports. We've got some, I'm just going to call them crazy rumors and ideas that I did not think we were going to get to. We begin with one of the dumbest ones you'll ever see. I'm not going to shy away from calling this stupid because that's what it is. If you don't like it, deal with it. Marcus Mariota to the Cowboys. I first saw the article on Inside the Star. I'm like, oh, you mean as a backup? Okay, I can kind of get that. Although, Cooper Rush played pretty well. It's not what the article was. This was about signing Marcus Mariota to give the Cowboys a true quarterback battle. To be blunt, this is just peak offseason stupidity. So I'm going to go off in this video. I'm about to end this whole man's career because the idea suggested is A, poorly suggested, no argument behind it, and also incredibly dumb. Here's what MARIOTA'S, who I do not know personally, so I'm actually not going to apologize. He doesn't deserve it. Prescott's a lightning bolt for debate among NFL fans. Some feel he's overrated and pads his numbers with meaningless fourth-quarter stats in garbage time. Others see him as a multi-time Pro Bowler, which is something that doesn't grow on trees. By the way, there was no actual argument as to why Mariota should compete with Dak. It was just various passive voice stuff like this. So, Mr. Tavar, I read the entire article, so you guys didn't have to. What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in the room is now dumber for having read it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. This idea is objectively stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you add Mariota to compete with a QB you've already paid big money, a QB, mind you, who in every area you could ever want in terms of a franchise QB is better than Marcus Mariota? It doesn't make any sense. I'm not done on this, by the way, but I'll give you guys a chance to pick a QB here. Type MM for Marcus Mariota, DP for Dak Prescott. If you type in MM, I'm going to ban you from the channel. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a democracy. You can vote whichever way you want, but Dak Prescott's the only correct answer here. Let's look at what proven starter, as was suggested by Mr. Tavar. Mariota's last 5 years, oh God, he sucks. Not good. His best year the past 5 years was 2017, or maybe it was 2018, where he was pretty accurate, but he had 11 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. He is not a proven starter. He was a proven early round draft pick, but there's nothing that Mariota has done in his NFL career that holds a candle to what Dak Prescott has done in his NFL career, despite Dak, of course, coming in the league after Mariota. Look, I want to make this point clear. We have to stop treating Dak Prescott like he's Daniel Jones. Like, if the Giants sign Mariota, okay, that could make some sense. But this idea that Mariota has somehow not had a fair shot doesn't make any sense. Here's what else Mario wrote. Not to make excuses for Mariota, as you make excuses, but the QB has had daunting circumstances for most of his NFL career. Mariota had 2 head coaches in his first 3 years as an NFL QB. In addition, he had 4 offensive coordinators in his first 5 years. Yes, early round draft pick, Marcus Mariota, set up to fail, which isn't really the case. Now, that's tough. I'll give him that. It's not easy. But I'll also make this point. Ryan Tannehill came into Tennessee and immediately saved the Titans, or at least got them to the postseason, with the exact same rosters around them. And I don't think any of us here is actually taking Tannehill over Dak Prescott right now. Mariota was awful. 60% completion rate. He's always been good about not making interceptions or not throwing interceptions. Tannehill comes in, and he's way better. I don't even know if Mariota's a better QB than Andy Dalton, and we know how those offenses were different. Even Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, thinks this idea is stupid. It's a terrible idea for the Cowboys to bring in quarterback competition for Dak Prescott. The idea that he's never proved he's worth starting. Are we just ignoring how good he's been? Yes. You know who else hasn't had to prove he's a starter? Lamar Jackson. What are we doing out here, guys? So let's have some fun in the comment section, and we can be mean to bad ideas. It's okay. Got to call out stupid things, otherwise what's the point? Type LOL in the comment section if you think this idea is dumb, because it is maybe the dumbest thing we'll see all offseason long. What's not dumb is saving yourself some money on Cowboys gear. Up to 60% off at chatsports.com/Cowboys. That's t-shirts, hoodies. There are some hats on sale. A wide variety of products, some PJ combo packs, some polo combo packs as well at chatsports.com/Cowboys. I'll put that link for you in the comment section and in the description. It's chatsports.com/Cowboys. NFL free agency is just around the corner. Could Cole Beasley potentially make his return to the Dallas Cowboys? Of course, began his career in Dallas, played at SMU. The idea comes to us from FanSided, and not that dumb as far as I'm concerned. The Bills could cut Cole Beasley this offseason. They saved $6.1 million. He's an aging slot receiver, and the Bills were not that happy with some of Beasley's public COVID comments and stance, and as that becomes a non-factor for the NFL next year, maybe it's an issue, maybe it's not. Beasley is still a good football player, but I don't think he's going to break the bank, and I could see something in the range of a $5-ish, maybe, million a year deal given his age and dip in production this past season. And given all of the Cowboys' needs, or potential needs, I should call them, at wide receiver, this actually does begin to make some sense. If you lose Amari Cooper and or Michael Gallup, you're going to make Lamb an outside receiver, I would say full-time, or at least you could go that route. And you could then slot Cole Beasley back into the slot receiver position. So what do you guys think? Would you bring back Cole Beasley? Type Y for yes, N for no. I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments section right now. I am open to this idea, despite the age, in terms of the on-field impact. I still believe that Cole Beasley can be a good slot receiver for you. I don't think he'd command an obscene amount of money. Now, you would weigh who would be more expensive, Cedric Wilson, Cole Beasley. Wilson's younger, Beasley's been more proven, but we also know that both guys, I argue, work pretty well with Dak Prescott. So that's part of the conversation there, and this as well. It does take two sides to make a deal. I think Cole was fairly glad to leave Dallas. He made some not the kindest remarks on his way out, and look, he got paid by Buffalo. Who's to blame him there, right? Does Dallas want him back? Does Cole want to go back to Dallas? And it might make some sense. There could also be some lingering bad blood between those two sides. So I think exploring the idea is absolutely valid. Is it the most likely? I mean, he's still got to get cut because Dallas, I don't believe, is going to trade for him. So when it comes to free agents, trade targets, draft, or players that could be cut that you want to go sign, drop a name of one for me in the comments section. Head down there. Let me know a player you want to add via any path this offseason. We're back with the outlandish ideas once again. Jason Lockenfor, who is, he's not been great, and then got better, and now is kind of back on his train here. He went through one critical move each NFL team has to make this offseason. Also didn't list just one. He kind of went above and beyond there. Among his arguments for Dallas was they got to move on from Zeke Elliott with no explanation or contract discussion whatsoever. Here's what JLC wrote. Move on from Zeke Elliott. Oh, and tell McCarthy to prepare as if he might need to assume play calling duties at some point to save his job because things continue to bog down with Kellen Moore in charge. I expect that will be a talking point again in 2022. The McCarthy-Kellen stuff, we've discussed that. That's certainly fair. But when, CBS Sports does the, move on from Zeke, I got to tell it like it is here at the Cowboys Report. And this is not something you should expect or bank or get your hopes up for. Now, they could do it if they really wanted to. It comes down to want and desire, as so many moves do. But the contract is not indicative of an easy-to-move-on player. His cap hit is outlandish, 18.22. You don't love that figure. You would cut him right now incur an additional $11.86 million in cap. So you're just not going to. You can cut him after June 1st. You save $0. You would be paying Zeke the same amount to not have him on your roster. That's what we're going to call Jalen Smithing him. I don't think that's a likely outcome. Now, you could trade him right now, save under $500,000. Doesn't really do you that much, and you got to pay somebody else to take your roster spot. You're still eating money. After June 1st, you do save $12.4 million, but you're still eating dead money next year, which is okay if you get something of note back. But also, who wants Ezekiel Elliott right now with a $12.4 million cap hit if traded? Coming off the injury, a couple down years, and the general value of running backs, as good as they might be, I don't think there's a ton of interest in Zeke Elliott. So I think the far, far more likely outcome here is this. Just use Tony Pollard more. In fact, I might argue it probably makes sense for Dallas to restructure Zeke's contract a little bit. Think about it this way. If you could save $5 million by restructuring Zeke, knowing it adds $5 million to next year's deal, but you could still potentially move on from Zeke Elliott, doesn't that make sense? Because $5 million against a smaller cap means more than next year when the cap goes up. It's the percentage of the cap type of thing. So I would not be shocked if Dallas, in some small capacity, restructured Zeke, and they could still move on from him in the future, because $5 million now, $5 million next year, it's not that different. It's actually more valuable to have it right now than it is in the future as the cap continues to move up. So we'll see Zeke's long-term future, but short-term, I do not anticipate Zeke going anywhere in this upcoming offseason. Folks, if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to us here at the Dallas Cowboys Report for free videos every single day.